from one historic location to another. What a journey it has been. We go green, and here comes the Grassi, surely to take the lead of the race. And there comes Buemi up the inside, and he's going to hit him. Oh my goodness me! The two championship battlers.
What a move!
It's all up to play for in the final event of the championship. Oh, and it's all kicking off here. It's now the stunning sight of London. 1 point separating the championship protagonists.
It's been another epic contest this season as the Formula E Championship continues to win hearts and minds around the world. And before we hit London for a season-ending double-header, we provide a final form guide for who might claim the second season title. This is how the Drivers' Championship stands going into the final weekend. Lucas di Grassi leads Sebastian Buemi by just 1 point. Realistically, only these two drivers can win the championship in the UK. The two men have traded wins all season, starting back in October with round 1 in China. For the start of season 2, Formula E once again landed in Beijing's iconic Olympic Park. With defending champion Nelson Piquet at the back of the grid, it was time to see who had made the biggest leap in the off-season. 10 teams and 20 drivers were prepared for thunder in Beijing.
All 5 lights are on. We go green in Beijing, and it's a very good getaway from Nick Heidfeld. A lot of wheel spin for Nico Prost on the run down towards the first corner, and a big lock-up as well from Prost. Heidfeld goes around the outside into second position. Oh, big lock-up there, and straight on goes Nico Prost out of third place. Through goes di Grassi. And is that Verne attacking Senna going through up the inside into turn 16. So good move there from Jean-Eric Verne, and Duval now will try and follow through. Looks to the inside. Is he going to go for it?
Yep.
He is. But he's going to go into the back of Verne if he's not careful. Has to really get on the brakes. And both of them go past Bruno Senna. Watch out for Sam Bird. Verne knows it. Covers the inside line. These two teammates going absolutely wheel to wheel. And Bird's going to get it stopped just in time. Here's the attack now coming up the inside from Nick Heidfeld. He knows he needs to get this job done. And he has done into turn 3. There's the look at the inside. D'Ambrosio looks up. It's going to hit him. Oh my goodness me! You two boys.
Do not hit your teammate.
The checkered flag falls. Buemi wins the first race of season 2 Formula E.
Bravo, félicitations. C'est du bon boulot.
The biggest cheers of all reserved for Buemi and the guard of honour from the Renault team. It's the trophy for Buemi. It's delight for Buemi. It's the championship lead for Buemi after victory in China.
So season 1's runner-up starting well, with the ever-consistent Lucas di Grassi just behind him. A great opening race for Mahindra's new signing Nick Heidfeld. His collision with Nico Prost a year earlier, now a distant memory. After topping the team's championship last season, Renault Edams were still the team to beat after round 1 in China and looked odds-on to take the team's title again. But 2016 has proven to be a tougher challenge.
We pushed very early on last season to work on the new powertrain, and we definitely improved the car. So we started with a bit of an advantage, then we did a few mistakes, and obviously the app team is very strong. But we are always kind of strong in the race, so now we just need to make sure we combine, the speed and the racecraft to make sure we are good in London.
It's been a very strange season for me because many times I was fighting for the weigh-in or the podium and I had some issues, so it's not been like proper high. Mexico podium was obviously good, some strong results, but it's been a bit of a frustrating start to the season, that's for sure.
Obviously, the victories and pole positions are always, the nice moment in the season. The crash with Fringe, in Long Beach was for me a negative race. Clearly lost a lot of points and the championship lead there. We have to take it as it is now and try to prepare as well as possible for the last race in London.
I was hoping to fight more for the Drivers' Championship, but the beginning of the season has been very difficult. So now I really hope we can retain the team title and maybe I can help Seb a bit to win the Drivers' title.
After a hugely successful first season, the world was watching to see what motorsport's most innovative championship would do next. Formula E didn't disappoint with spectacular new races, exciting technical developments by the teams, and the introduction of e-racing to the Formula E experience.
Well, I think again we're having a fantastic season, very exciting. We've been racing all over the world. And again, we come to the end of the championship with 2 drivers fighting for victory. We're seeing more and more people coming, more attention, more fans, and more excitement. So very happy with how the season is going. But I think the Paris race was really a highlight, the highlight of the championship so far. It was a very challenging track. To build that in the heart of Paris was difficult, but it was really something that was never done in motorsport before. And when we sat down the first time with the team of the mayor of Paris, they told us, if you were not electric, this meeting would even not be taking place. We could race in the heart of Paris, in the heart of a city like Paris, because we are full electric. I think future is very exciting, and we are moving on different directions. We want to go to more cities around the world, new cool venues, but we also want to go in the future of digital. We want to do more in the field of e-racing. We want to do more with fan booths. We want to do more with the engagement through social media with our fans. We want to be the digital championship. E-racing is a great way to engage with fans. Fans like to participate, like to be part of the game. And with the new technologies online, you can have thousands of people playing at the same time and participating in your sport. That's why e-sports are so important, and that's why Formula E wants to open this championship to e-sports. I think Formula E this second year is really gaining a lot of momentum because many people thought we were not going to make it or we were going to be a short-term thing. Now everybody sees Formula E is here to stay. It's solid, it's growing, more teams, manufacturers, sponsors, partners, fans. So I think it's like a snowball, and it keeps growing and growing and growing. And I think Formula E is really going where the times are going. When we see electric cars being, sales are going up, the whole ecosystem of electric cars is growing. So I think we're in the right place.
The Electric Garden in Putrajaya, Malaysia played host to round 2. One question was on everyone's lips: would Buemi continue his dominance from Beijing?
All 5 lights are on, and we go green in Malaysia, and it's a good getaway from Sebastian Buemi as well. Antonio Felix da Costa looking racy on the run down towards turn 1. He's not going to be close enough though, because Duval covers the inside line. Good start from Prost going around the outside as everyone comes into the first chicane for the first time, and round goes Heidfeld. He's been hit by Jean-Eric Verne in the middle of the pack. Here we go. Whoa, it'll be right here on the apex. There you go. Oh, with a bit of damage as well. Sebastian Buemi is slowing, the race leader, and has he run into problems for the Renault team? Unbelievable stuff.
Let's see, watch the steering come out of his hands.
Oh, that save of the season so far. Down the start, finish straight, absolutely wheel to wheel. Prost holding the lead at the moment. Watch out for da Costa, because he could be lurking on the inside when they get to turn 1. Grassi up the inside, into the lead of the race. Prost drops down to second. Antonio Felix da Costa slides it and just keeps it together. Looking sort of dead certain to be taking
Big
second.
move.
There's the look up the inside into 7. Da Costa goes through. Does he get it stopped? I thought the rear's locked there, and he slid his way through, but da Costa into second place. Oh, he's got a problem. Antonio Felix da Costa grinds to a halt on the exit of turn 2, and from a great position, goodness me, there goes Duval up the inside of Nico Prost and into second place.
Do you think he wants the win? Now he's gone after the Grassi, isn't he?
Here comes D'Ambrosio up the inside of Nico Prost to take third position away. D'Ambrosio goes through, and it's now second and third for the Dragon team.
You can try left brake region, map 3 or map 2.
And is that the other Dragon car? It is.
He's hit the wall. Look,
Loic Duval is in big troubles, and that means that Jerome D'Ambrosio is up into second place. Robin Freitz goes through, and he's up into third. Sam Bird is up into fourth. Where did he come from? Off goes Freitz!
No.
Freitz is in the wall! He might have just about got away with that, potentially.
No, I think Duval has
his front wing.
Look at Duval's left rear suspension. So he's done that. French has done the front wing.
Jerome D'Ambrosio from third place is off the track and in the wall, and that promotes Robin Freitz up into third position.
He's broke the suspension too.
But here comes Lucas Di Grassi through the final corner. What a topsy-turvy E-Prix here in Putrajaya. Renault lost out with both cars, and Lucas Di Grassi was on hand to take the win and take the lead of the championship.
Well done, brilliant.
That's one of the maddest races I've ever watched.
Lucas Di Grassi, an elated Brazilian. His first win of the season and the top of the championship.
So after 2 races, role reversal. Di Grassi first, Buemi second, and the Brazilian enjoying 2 podiums in his first 2 outings. Defending champion Nelson Piquet struggling in his next EV car. Ab Schaffler Audi Sport are in the final mix with Renault Edams for both the Drivers' and Teams' Championship. 1 point ahead in the Drivers' and 11 behind in the team standings. They will have to be at their best in London to do the double this season.
My highest, pretty easy, was Long Beach. The double podium together with Lucas was incredible for the whole team, especially after a weekend in Mexico that was very tough for us. I think I had some quite good races, but I also had a lot of bad ones, especially when it comes to pit stop. In the first 4 races, I had 3 very bad pit stops. So after 4 races, I was already on the back foot, and then you just try to aim for single results. Could have been better, could have been worse. We'll try again next year.
Definitely the low has been Mexico disqualification after an amazing win. Fantastic race. I was very happy with my performance, and we got disqualified because of 1.8 kilogram underneath in one of the cars. The second car was fine, and that's pretty sad and changed a lot the behavior of the team. We got really frustrated and we thought the championship was over, but we didn't throw the towel. We kept focused, we kept working, and then I think the high came straight after in Long Beach when we arrived and we won the race, and we got back the championship lead with 1 point in front, which was an amazing feat. I think all the team was mega happy there, and after that another very, very high result in Paris, which was an amazing event. So yeah, I think that was the big mix.
Renault's leading at the moment. They have a very strong package, a lot of money behind them, but we as the underdogs from Germany, we try to give them a hard time, and I think we're good at that. And now it's going to get even closer. Lucas is fighting with Buemi for the overall Drivers' Championship, so I think it's going to get really intense. And obviously my job is to score as many points as possible.
The Andretti Formula E race team had some success with the podium finish back in Malaysia. Since then, results have declined, leaving them 7th in the team's championship.
The season hasn't quite gone like we wanted. You know, we struggled quite a bit with some results, and you know, we're always around like 11th, 12th and stuff like that, and that was a bit frustrating. I think high is definitely Long Beach getting into the points, because we've been so close to it for so many races, and yeah, it was finally good to have some. So hopefully now the end of the season is going to be also like this.
The highs were definitely Malaysia. First podium finished, and so far the only one. The lows, the downs, I think it was Long Beach, as I was laying P4. It was a really good position to score a lot of points, and then had a crash with Buemi, so that was a real disappointment, but I think the season went pretty well.
Round 3 in the glamorous Punta del Este gave Buemi and the Renault Edams team the chance to get their title challenge back on track at Power in Paradise.
Here come the lights. It's Jerome D'Ambrosio on pole. Loic Duval alongside him. We go green. And it's a slow start from Duval. And what a good start that is from Sam Bird. Is he up into 2nd place on the run down to turn 1? Yes, he is. The Virgin driver up into 2nd. Lockup's further back. Great start from Daniel Abt. And the 2 Abt cars go 3rd and 4th as everyone tries to squeeze in through for the first time. So it's a slow start from Nico Prost. Almost contact there.
Oh, here's a move from Buemi. Down the
Buemi
inside.
up the inside, and can he get through into the hairpin? Yes, he can. Easy peasy.
Fabulous move there, yeah.
Here comes Sebastian Buemi through on Jerome D'Ambrosio. Buemi leads into turn 17. So what has happened at 19? Oh, and a spin. And that is Nathaniel Berton. Buemi out of the pit box. And he rejoins the lead of the race. Here comes Grassi then. Grassi's in 2nd place, in front of the 2 Dragon cars, and getting involved in there is Sam Bird, so Bird has made up a position as well. Oh, and there's that slowing Sam Bird up the inside, goes into turn 13. Has Sam Bird got a problem, or was he just lifting coasting? But the Dragon is through.
He's got to have a problem with that.
Do a reset, I'll give you instruction.
This is Verne using his fan boost to go past Stefan Sarazan. Sarazan in a more retro helmet this weekend. And here's a look up the inside from Verne. He's done it, but he's gone in way too deep. Piquet gets the comeback, side by side, contact. Piquet holds the position. Jean-Eric Verne is waving his fist like a furious Frenchman and may have had damage to the car there, but he's going to try again.
Keep his hands on the wheel and try and get back past him. You know, he misjudged it a little bit, but it's not Piquet's fault.
No, Piquet was totally legitimate to go back underneath him there as they get on the brakes now. Oh, now he's not legitimate, he's in the wall. Piquet off.
Oh, that's a big old hit.
Sebastian Buemi won here for the first time in Formula E last year. Now he's going to take the checkered flag and take victory in Punta del Este. That was a tough one.
2% left.
For the 2nd time this season, it's Sebastian Buemi, the guard of honour for the Swiss driver, his 5th Formula E victory, and wins in Punta del Este, takes the lead of the championship. De Grassi and Buemi make it a two-horse race at the top of the Formula E Championship title race. They've battled each other throughout, and I think that's going to be the continuing theme. Champagne on the beach, it's not a bad place to be.
Into worse places for a motor race.
And so the battle between Buemi and De Grassi took another turn. Both men on the podium and Buemi back in the lead with just 1 point in it. Consistency hasn't been Team Aguri's strong point this season, with 5 different drivers to date. The team is still running Season 1 setup, so changes are really needed if they're to keep pace with the leading outfits.
It's been quite an interesting season. Been a lot of fun. We've had some close shaves. We almost got ourselves onto the podium a few times. You probably saw Antonio in Long Beach had a pole just for a little while until we had a problem with tyre pressures. Back in Malaysia, we were running second on the road and had a good chance of being on the podium. So I think we've shown flashes of brilliance, but we haven't sort of put it all together to get some really, podium positions. But all in all, it's good that we've proven that our decision to run the first season powertrain with some good drivers really can pay out in the end.
As I'm start from Paris, is everything quite new for me, and new cars, new team, new everywhere. I think it's to learn as much as possible to get the maximum mileage on the track, then everything will help for the future.
In Season 2, the car chassis and battery have remained the same, but teams can design their own drivetrains. That's the motor, transmission and gears, so the emphasis is now really on evolution.
I think the new technologies have been a very big success. I think 7 teams produce powertrains. We have different technologies. Some people going with 2 motors, 1 motor, 4 gears, 3 gears, 1 gear. And it's fascinating to see how all these new avenues of technology are developing. But at the end, it's all very competitive. So even if they go in different ways, they still fight and they're within a second per lap in the performance.
In Season 2, the teams can develop their own drivetrains to try and gain a competitive advantage. They want to be faster than each other, but they've found different solutions to the same questions, and that has made the racing all the more interesting. As in all race cars, it's a compromise between components to get the best results. Do you want more torque, fewer gears, or less weight? Much of the work has focused on the motors, and which type of motor they use in turn determines how many gears they need in their transmission. To accelerate fast out of corners, the cars need torque. Next EV and DS Virgin have gone for twin motors that can develop so much torque that the car can accelerate all the way to its top speed without needing any additional gears. From standing start to flat out in 1 gear with no changes. The downside to this is that the 2 motors are heavy, so that the car can be seen at times to be sliding with the weight at the back of the car.
I'd say it's worked out okay. It hasn't been the best by any stretch of the imagination, but it also hasn't been the worst. We have been able to score a win and get 3 pole positions, but for sure it's a Mount Serious challenge. I don't think it's been the car to be in.
I think the Next TV is doing the best they can. They're really working hard. Obviously, we know we fell back a little bit after Season 1, but I know they're working really hard. They're restructuring the team, so I'm confident that for sure they're going to have a much more competitive car for Season 3.
A single motor will be lighter and can spin very fast, but it doesn't have the torque needed for fast acceleration, so gears are needed to transfer the power into that accelerative force. The size and spinning speed of the motor will determine how many gears the other teams will need. The original car, still used by Andretti and Aguri, has 5 gears.
I think the car is pretty okay in considering we can finish in the top 6, top 7. Almost every weekend.
Some tracks it was fine. Some tracks I think we struggle a little bit more, and you just see the new generation engine, is more efficient in the race, so makes it a little bit trickier for us with Season 1 engine. But yeah, it was the situation we were in, and we had to do the best we can with what we had.
A lot of it was to do with weight saving, because some people have got a fair bit of weight out of the car, I think. Luckily, we've got some light drivers, so Antonio sort of comes off well with the weight side of things. Some tracks didn't suit us, like the first track in Beijing, but other tracks like Malaysia and Buenos Aires suited our style, our drivers, etc. So I think what we chose to do was a sensible decision for the right reasons, and hopefully might even pay off in the last 2 races.
And the Venturi, Dragon and Mahindra cars still use the McLaren motor, but have gone for a 4-gear solution.
We have an evolution from last year's car, and it's really interesting that our car is marginally faster than last year's car, a bit more efficient, but people with last year's car can still compete, which is actually quite good.
It worked out well, but we knew from the beginnings that we would not be the strongest team. Mahindra did quite a lot of changes from season 1 through season 2, and I'm more hopeful of season 3.
I think it's worked out pretty well. This year we're not, a manufacturer. We're using Venturi's powertrain. Of course, there's some areas where we would have liked to develop a little bit more the car, especially in terms of software and so on, and we've been restricted with that. So I think next year for Dragon Racing should be much better and a step forward for that.
Yes, we have a very good powertrain with Venturi. We are the smallest team, so we did a great job with powertrain with the team, and we can see Dragon perform also well with our powertrain. So it's good, but we need to do a good step for next year. Everybody will be lighter, more efficiency, so we need to do a good step, and we are working for this.
Abt have 3 gears with their single motor, but their clever twist appears to be putting the inverter low in the car with the motor to improve the handling. They won't tell us exactly what they've done, but the car certainly has a distinctive noise.
We developed a completely new powertrain for this season, a 3-speed gearbox instead of 5. Schaeffler developed this new concept of MGU, so the motor is different, everything is a bit optimized, and it worked very well. We didn't have any reliability problems this year. The concept is not the fastest in qualifying, but it's very efficient in the race, and it's proven to be a good compromise between all the different positions. And I think apart from one team, we have the best drivetrain in the market.
Renault has a single motor and 2 gears. With so few gears, the motor needs to be bigger to create enough torque. But to minimise this extra weight, the team have focused on reducing it with extensive use of carbon fibre to house the motor and gearbox. But the really clever part appears to be the use of an old-school manual gear stick to switch between high and low gears, like an old arcade game, less complex than a paddle shift system and weighing less too.
As a driver point of view, it's very difficult to judge if you don't drive and test the other powertrains, but we think we made the right decision, we went in the right direction. So for season 3, we are focusing even more in that direction, making sure we can extract even more performance out of our current concept, and we will see where we are compared to the rest. That's always the kind of thing, you have to be stronger than the rest. Whether you improved a lot or a little bit, if you are better than the rest, that's good.
Many different ideas, but who's got it right? Well, we'll know only after the London showdown. The Puerto Madero street circuit in the metropolitan city of Buenos Aires was the stage as the drivers looked to close the gap on Sebastian Buemi. Would lightning bite in Argentina?
All 5 lights are on, and we go racing in Buenos Aires, and it's a very good start from Prost, but can he get the inside line on the run down towards the first corner? No. Bird comes over, covers it across, bit of a lock-up.
The Costa, Prop, and Sarazan very close behind.
6.43.
C'est bien, c'est bon, continue, c'est bien.
Everyone safely through turn 1. Now Buemi up the inside of Senna, and Duran, and D'Ambrosio almost loses it at turn 4.
C'était vraiment limitant.
Batterie temp, ok, c'est du bon travail.
Sebastian Buemi right up behind Nick Heidfeld, and cruises through down into 4th.
Not even a competition there.
On est un peu en surconsommation.
Daniel Abt right here, look at this.
Oh, goes to the inside, and can he get that job done into turn 4? Yes, he can. I thought Abt was going to cover him.
On est P4.
That's Sebastian Buemi, the championship leader. He's come from 18th on the grid. He's now up into 4th position, and he's right up behind Stefan Sarazan, out onto the start grid, and he's going to pull alongside and pass Sarazan. The next man in front of him, championship rival Lucas de Grassi.
De Grassi's got Buemi coming up behind me, so he should be pretty busy.
De Grassi covers the inside line, the 2 championship battlers. Buemi sells in the dummy. Buemi goes through into 2nd place.
Buemi is P2 behind you. On reste concentré. Et je veux que tu confirmes.
Ok, je confirme, je suis concentré.
All eyes glued to the screen.
How oversteering was that?
It's unbelievable.
Il reste 2 tours.
Oh, did he touch the wall? That was so close
Was that
from
the wall?
Sam Bird.
Getting closer and closer. Here he comes.
Nose to tail through turn 3. Sam Bird surely will cover the inside line.
Sam, there is no need to lift. Go flat out all the way.
Bird drives in the middle of the road, locks up, gets it stopped just about.
Il reste combien de tours?
Dernier tour. Régène 0. Régène 0.
Down towards turn 7.
This is his last chance.
Buemi is not going to be close enough, so all Bird has to do is make it through the final chicane.
Désolé, j'ai pas eu les...
Bird into the right-hander, makes it stick, and takes victory in Argentina.
Yeah! Come on!
What a drive by both those guys there.
J'ai pu penser parce que je voulais gagner, mais c'est clair qu'on aurait pu le faire en y pensant un peu plus.
C'est une belle remontée. C'est du bon boulot quand même. Sam, you legend, you absolute legend. That was a brilliant, brilliant drive. So controlled, fantastic. It's going nuts here. It's going nuts.
Sam Bird on the top step for the third time after immense pressure.
Great race from start to finish. Fabulous, fabulous race.
Cheers, boys. That was tough, but we did it. Well done to everybody. We were perfect this weekend. Absolutely perfect.
That perfect drive for Virgin put Bird in third overall, but Grassi and Buemi continue to score highly. Just 4 points between the leaders. Sam Bird and Jean-Eric Vergne have been amongst the action all year, but mistakes at key moments by them and the DS Virgin racing team have seen them lose contact with the leaders come the business end of the season.
All in all, I think we've had a pretty good year. We knew that this year was going to be tough with the car that we put out there on the grid. Looking at Beijing, we never thought that we would be as competitive as what we have been, so I'm very proud of the team for that. I'm proud of my own performances. The main high has been the win in Buenos Aires, so that was a pretty special day. Another high has been being able to score 3 pole positions so far. Low points, putting it on pole has been great, but then 2 mistakes have cost me probably 20 points overall, and 20 points would put me much closer to Lucas. Right now, I'm just focusing on consolidating third if I can and scoring points when I can.
I think I had more lows, so I don't really know which one of them. I had many DNF this year, so yeah, it was a bit difficult from that point of view. I don't think the powertrain we had was bad. It was pretty good, but really heavy. And I found myself with a really heavy car, and for some reason, I've not been able to drive the car properly this year. It's getting better, obviously, but I don't feel like I can drive this car at my maximum potential. That's only work that I have to do on myself. Obviously high, second place in Paris in front of my home crowd was pretty nice, pretty amazing. But, hopefully the best is yet to come in that season.
The Mahindra Racing Formula E team sit mid-table in 5th spot, but last round in Berlin showed signs, especially in qualifying, of a real improvement in pace. They'll be looking to finish the season on a high in London.
The high was definitely the beginning of the season, race 1, where we finished on the podium, which was great for the team, especially if you just change teams and then you have a fantastic result. The low definitely was when I had my hand injury in Putrajaya, and then I had to miss 1 race.
It's been an interesting season, lots of changes to the cars and to the teams. For us, we've been actually quite consistent, and we've just been chipping away and always scoring points, which is really good. So far, what's been disappointing us was not the race pace, but qualifying. And definitely, we need to be in top 5 to score podiums, and I'm sure we can do it. We've been right up there in practice sessions and really good in some races. From now until the very last minute, I'll be aiming for the podium this year.
Round 5, Mexico. Electricity unleashed on a city 9 million strong. Battle lines drawn with Bird and Grassi hot on the tail of Buemi. One more moment of history was about to be made.
All 5 lights are on, and we go green in Mexico City.
Go, go, go!
D'Ambrosio's got the lead covered, and Abt and Grassi are so close to each other. Buemi might be close enough on the run down towards turn 1. He's going to look to the inside line, but Daniel Abt will try and cover. Buemi looks to the outside line and goes through around the outside. Great move from Sebastian Buemi. And there's the look from Grassi up the inside, and he's waited until the final lap before the pit stop window to make the move on Nico Prost and move up into 2nd position.
Your race, buddy. Let's bring it home here.
Key couple of moments now for Lucas Grassi. Can he attack? He's got fan boost as well. He's using it now. Here comes Lucas Grassi.
He's on fan boost, Jerome. Take your line. He's on fan boost.
And D'Ambrosio covers the inside line, and Grassi still tries to look to the inside line. So close between them. Grassi locks up, manages to get it stopped in time, and takes the lead of the Mexico E-Prix.
Allez, c'est bon, laisse pas partir Grassi.
Here comes Buemi up the inside, coming down into 1.
Oh, c'est quoi ça? Il peut pas changer de ligne comme ça.
Buemi's looking inside.
And they just told D'Ambrosio on the radio, Buemi's going to look to the inside. Oh, he's into the back of him. They come together.
C'est un gros malade comme il change de trajectoire.
He completely crashed into me.
D'Ambrosio under pressure. Look from the inside from Buemi. He's darting around in the mirrors. He's trying to go around the outside. Great attempt from Sébastien Buemi. Surely he cut across the track there.
Il cut the chicane, il cut the chicane. C'était pas passé, donc il faut qu'il rende la place.
T'es sûr? Is he going to give that place back? An audacious attack. And here comes Prost attacking, and they're going to make contact there. And this is really difficult times for D'Ambrosio. And I think Buemi's trying to slow to give the place back.
Je veux laisser passer 4 fois. What the is he doing?
He is absolutely livid, and so he goes straight over the chicane himself.
What's going on, guys? I don't understand.
And has he done it now? Yes, he has. So Buemi has let D'Ambrosio back through into that second place. Lucas de Grassi, out through the final corner, is going to win in Mexico City. He's going to take the lead of the Formula E Championship with a fantastic drive. But here comes Sébastien Buemi, right under the wheels, and it's side by side for second. There was still more drama to come in Mexico, though. After post-race scrutineering, Lucas de Grassi's race-winning Apt car was found to be 1.8 kilos under the minimum weight. And as a result, the driver was disqualified, and the team have decided not to appeal the decision. That means victory goes to Jerome D'Ambrosio and the Dragon Racing team. The second time D'Ambrosio has won in Formula E, thanks to a de Grassi disqualification.
And that disqualification put distance between Buemi and de Grassi at the top of the Drivers' Championship. Halfway through the season now, could de Grassi make up the ground? To date, it's been a mixed season for Dragon Racing, but no matter how the season ends, the team and Jerome D'Ambrosio will look back at the pole and race victory in Mexico as a sign that they can compete at the very top.
The first half of the season, I have to say, was really good. We've been really competitive. We're still a black point in Malaysia. I was leading the race just before the pit stop, was P2, 2 laps before the end, and then we got a mechanical failure, which there we lost a lot of points. But let's say that the first half of it, we were always qualifying in the top 5, fighting for podiums. It was really good. Then I have to say that the last 3 events, we've been struggling a little bit more, struggling to find the grip, to be able to be competitive, to put everything together in qualifying. So I just want to be back, at the front of the grid to have fun and to score a lot of points. For me, that the most important is really to have fun in this championship. And normally, when you have fun, you end up with good results. So that's the main thing.
Well, I think it's pretty easy for me to describe the highs. 2 pole positions, Punta del Este in Mexico, victory in Mexico, podium in Punta. And we had some lows. I think the lowest point of the season was actually Paris, because we lacked performance. At the same time, I think when we're good, we're really good. When we're bad, we really struggled. I think we're coming to understand why. But, all around, I think we're having a great season. It's been good to us.
After drama in Mexico, de Grassi looked for redemption on America's oldest street circuit. Formula E inevitably made shockwaves on the shoreline of the Blue Pacific.
Here are the lights. Here's the start. And the launch.
Perfect launch from both front row there.
Clean getaway for everyone. Trying to jockey into position.
Robin Freint's completely out of control there, going on the braking zone.
Okay, Sam, you've got de Grassi behind you. Sarazan is next, then Heidfeld.
Well, there's a pass there from the Dragon car, going past Jean-Eric Verne there in the DS Virgin car. Jean-Eric has not got a handle on this track yet.
Alama last year's screen shows the available energy remaining in the cars.
Extra 0.29. Use it, mate. Use the extra.
Understood. We had contact, I think, in the hairpin. Antonio Felix da Costa trying to come forward. Oh, we've got bits of body work coming off.
As many straights as this track has, energy saving is going to be key. Oh, lock in the rears, and he's managed to hold it.
Nicely done. That looked like runoff for sure.
Or wall. There's a move.
Down the inside goes Sébastien Buemi, takes 5th place from Apt.
Textbook.
C'est bien, continue, c'est bien.
This is in the hairpin. Buemi,
oh dear.
That was spectacular.
Je suis désolé, j'ai essayé de passer, il a fermé la porte.
Oh, we've got a pass for the lead.
A pass for the lead.
There we go.
Lucas de Grassi takes over.
Told him a dummy in the dirty part of the track, and off he goes. No, he's doing a car change.
He's going to get out.
Wow. This is huge for the championship.
Oh, absolutely.
Lucas de Grassi leading the race, Sébastien Buemi in the pit lane.
On ne pourra jamais finir la course, là. On a 20 kW, il nous en manque 8.
Ça, je suis pas responsable. C'était obligatoire de s'arrêter.
Oh,
Sam Bird.
Sam, you okay? Sam, is the car okay?
Yes, copy, car is okay. What position are we in now?
Sam, you're P7.
Here's the replay of Sam Bird's accident.
What happened to Bird? What happened to Bird?
Bird crashed back on track. Back on track.
Oh, PK.
He's hit the wall. Nelson.
Right front wheel is deranged.
I'm fine.
There's Leonardo DiCaprio in the crowd there. Looks like he's having a fun time.
Partner in the Venturi team.
And there we go.
Standing O down in the hairpin as the checkered flag waves. Sweet redemption for Lucas de Grassi.
Brilliant, Lucas. I'm speechless. Well done. Brilliant job.
Here comes the race winner, Lucas de Grassi, who is going to enjoy this one.
Look at that crowd. Like a rock concert. That's what it's all about right there. That feeling on the podium.
A huge crowd and huge result for de Grassi. After anguish in Mexico comes redemption in America. Buemi all but out of the points in this race and the gap at the top closed. The Venturi team opted for experience at the start of the season with Jacques Villeneuve and Stéphane Sarrazin. Villeneuve's departure after round 2 left the door open for Englishman Mike Conway. However, it's the other side of the garage where the real interest lies. So far this season, Sarrazin has qualified for an impressive 5 Superpoles.
Just question of a bit luck. Sometimes I'm not taking high level of risk. I'm sometimes thinking about championship, but I hope to continue like that until the end of the season. We had some issue at the beginning of the season in China. I lost time, I lost position, but in Long Beach we had a good race. I finished second. So good podium, first podium for me, so it was really good result. We did a big step compared last year. We are all time fighting in top 5. So I'm really happy and we'll push hard to fight for the win.
I suppose there's been quite a few highs and lows already, but I think just turning up for the first round in Argentina and sticking in the top 5 for Superpole was quite good. But then since then it's been quite tough really. You know, the few weekends after that qualifying was quite difficult. But obviously as the races went on, learned a lot about energy management and how to structure the races myself. I think finding my feet now in terms of what I want from the car, and we just need to get some results now in the races.
If I can finish third, it's possible. With Sam Bird, we are fighting most of the races. So we'll see, but everything can happen. So I will give my best for sure.
Paris, the iconic City of Light. 4 French drivers, 2 French manufacturers. Who would sign their signature on the streets of Les Invalides as the championship fight started to gain heat?
All 5 lights are on. And we're green in Paris. It's a good start from de Grassi.
Terrible start from Sam Bird.
A fantastic start as well from Nico Prost. He dives up the inside, and here comes de Grassi, surely to take the lead of the race into the right-hander of turn 1. And Vern just about getting it stopped. Lucas de Grassi takes the lead of the Visa Paris E-Prix. Vern is up into second place. Bird drops from first down to third.
Je suis pas mal plus vite que Torvet, mais c'est très difficile à dépasser.
Here comes Sébastien Buemi on the outside now, down to turn 8. Is he going to be able to pull this off? Oh, he did it! Wow.
C'est bien, c'est bon, continue.
Ça s'ouvre moins maintenant. Je fais quoi? Je suis un petit peu plus rapide que Nico.
C'est bon, prends pas de risque.
Prendre pas de risque, ça veut dire rester derrière.
Ça veut dire de ne pas prendre de risque, c'est tout.
We're on board with Bird, looking to the outside of Vern, but he needs to watch his mirrors too because those Renaults are coming. Buemi has got past Prost.
Jeff has been told that you have more energy than him, so he might be expecting you. Go flat, go flat.
Oh, here's the move.
Oh, on the inside goes Bird, and the 2 DS Virgin guys hit each other, and Vern holds on the inside.
Tell him to get out of the way!
What the hell was he doing?
Get me out in front of him. He's trying to drive me off the circuit.
And now here come the Virgin guys. Who's in front? It is...
Still Jean-Eric.
Still Jean-Eric Vern, and then Buemi and Prost come out.
Unsafe release! Unsafe release!
Wow, incredibly tight. Yep, and he's
Spin up.
using his fan boost now, Sébastien Buemi. Sam Bird, will he have to defend coming into 8? No, Buemi's not quite close enough.
Good defending. Buemi just used his fan boost.
Allez, c'est bien, c'est bon, continue de lui mettre la pression, t'es plus vite.
This is the battle over third place. Bird covers the inside line. Super late on the brakes, locks up, goes straight on. Through goes Buemi. Bird spins it back around and gets going.
Bien joué pour la mise de pression, continue sur bien.
Buemi is the car behind.
I don't care about Buemi. I think I'm de Grassi in front. I want him.
Yes, and you can take him.
Oh, and Mars in the wall, and that is at turn 14. Oh, he's gone in big.
Lucas, safety car deployed.
This is race control to all drivers. We will end this session behind the safety car.
Lucas de Grassi is effectively the winner of the E-Prix.
Lucas, you're a superstar. Congratulations. Brilliant drive.
Great job, team. Great job. Flawless job. Thank you very much.
Phenomenal race here in Paris. Delight for Lucas de Grassi. 11 points clear now at the top of the championship.
So Buemi beaten at home in Paris. And now it was de Grassi's turn to draw away at the top, thanks to 2 wins on the spin. Sam Bird adds a solid 11 points to just about stay in contention. Next EV TCR have been running a twin motor solution, but a string of poor performances sees them rooted to the bottom of the table, a stark contrast for Nelson Piquet Jr., who dramatically wrapped up the title in London last season.
I don't think there was much highs this season. I think Punta, we were having a good race until I had the accident the last lap. But apart from that, honestly, there was nothing really good about this season, you know? I mean, especially comparing it to season 1. It was very frustrating. We went from having a chance to win every weekend till struggling really hard to even qualify in the top 10. But, you know, it's racing. You have good years and bad years. Not every year you have the best car.
It's been a kind of frustrating season for us as a team. I think it's been a really challenging season, but you know, I really enjoyed my first full season in Formula E. I think from my side, I've been pleased with my performances. I think having Nelson as my teammate has been a good reference, and you know, I've been able to get the best result for the team in Beijing as finishing 6th was a highlight, and I guess the low was in Malaysia when the throttle stuck on and caused me to crash, so that was a shame because you know, obviously having a technical issue in the race is always frustrating. I think we need to just focus on doing the best job we can with the package we have, and you know, last time we qualified 7th, so if we can improve on this, it'd be good, and you know, if we can score points and be in, you know, in the top 10, that would be you know, a good result for us.
With just 2 races left on the calendar, attention turns to Berlin and pulses quickened. Could de Grassi take an unprecedented 3rd win in a row for home team Abt?
All 5 lights are on, and we go green in Berlin, and it's a very good start from Buemi. Is he going to wrestle the lead away on the run down towards the first corner? Yes, Buemi leads. He's managed to get past Verne, and he moves over, and they almost touch as they come into the first corner. Now they're all going to be so gentle into that first turn to try and make it through. A bit of contact in the middle of the pack. Verne's going for the lead, up the inside, down into turn 1, and Verne retakes the lead of the E-Prix. And there comes Buemi up the inside, and he's through, down into turn 10. Buemi finds the room and retakes the lead of the E-Prix. And there's the look from Daniel Abt. He's got the move done. Is he going to get it stopped, though? They're both locking their wheels, and Abt does get it turned in.
Temperature is okay?
All okay, all okay. SOC, similar to Prost ahead of you.
I'm on target.
And Verne loses his front wing. And surely he's not going to be able to hold that position. He's not. Through goes Nico Prost.
Box, tight on energy.
De Grassi comes out ahead of Jean-Eric Verne, so he's gained a place as well in all of that. Actually, Verne's dropped way off the back of those guys in front. Here we go, down towards turn 1 again. We've got 10 laps to go.
A full 1%.
De Grassi sells the dummy up the inside, and that's 3rd place.
Can you let Lucas by? He's quicker.
There we go. Let Lucas by. He's quicker. Is the command to Daniel Abt.
Tell Daniel if he doesn't attack Buemi, I attack Buemi.
Abt hasn't let de Grassi through yet, but I'm sure he will now that the team have given him that instruction yet. He waves to the inside line, and, well, it hasn't quite worked out there, has it?
I wanted to let Lucas pass. I slowed down and pointed out, but he didn't do it, so...
Sebastian Buemi. He turns through the final corner now, and he wins in Berlin. Victory for Buemi, and Daniel Abt is going to finish 2nd. Abt finishes 2nd.
Yeah!
The race winner, Sebastian Buemi. The podium area absolutely packed by the fans, and elation with Buemi and the team. Victory for Sebastian Buemi. He's closed in on his championship-leading rival, Lucas de Grassi. De Grassi still holds a 1-point advantage, but it's all up to play for in the final event of the championship.
So Buemi wins in Germany, making up for not taking 1st in Paris, and most importantly, closes the gap to just 1 point with 2 races to go. In the Teams Championship, mathematically 4 teams can still win, but in reality, it's a fight between Renault Edams on 202 points and Ab Schaffler Audi Sport on 191 points. With a maximum of 96 points on offer in London, it's going to be tight. The drivers will need to work as a unit, but as one half of each pair is battling it out in the Drivers' Championship, that may be easier said than done.
The high points is always to win the races, and we won a lot. And the low point was in Mexico, where we was disqualified by underweight on the car. But okay, in the end, we are responsible for this system. But I think we had good fights in the championship. And I'm also happy that in London is the last race, and even we can win, or Renault can win. It's a big challenge and a lot of pressure for us, and we like this.
The high is definitely that we managed to do a good car, to make good choices. And the bad is we did not deliver exactly the number of points and wins that we should have done. That's why we went with a lot of work after Long Beach, and because nothing was correct. And then that's why I'm very happy today, because we managed to get back to the win. The goal was to win both championships. So you could say, yes, it could be a failure, but we are racing. If we lose it, that's because we need to learn something and we need to do it differently next year. It's always a lesson, but if we win again in London, we will forget the low one.
Team orders can be a crucial component in the deciding of a championship. But when is this considered acceptable practice by teams and, more controversially, drivers?
I think sometimes you have to do it by a team, you know. They have no chance for the championship. I think also Nico, no chance, and they should help them in a fair way and keep it out of the way and let them do what they have to do. Today was a little bit different because we fight it, and was dangerous to do this maneuver in the last lap because it was a safety car. For me, it was fine, and we're still leading the championship. Everything is good.
Last race is never like another weekend, especially when you're fighting for the championship. When I was a racing driver, that was my goal every year, you know, to be a contender for the championship at the last race, if possible. We're very close. It's going to be decided in London, maybe the last race again, like last year. The last lap, you don't know. Everything is happening in Formula E. You cannot predict everything, so it's quite good again for the championship, for our sport, and we like it. That's why we're here.
Good luck.
we need luck.
The Drivers' Championship is now a 2-horse race, with just 1 point separating Lucas de Grassi on 141 points and Sebastian Buemi on 140 points. There's a maximum of 60 points on offer at the London doubleheader. One mistake on the tight Battersea streets could prove decisive.
Formula E, it's the end of the championship. We know what we have to do, we just need to do it well now. And we will focus on every small details, from the preparation, looking after the car, and then from my side, you know, trying to spend time in the simulator.
1 point lead it's not manageable. We just go for the weekend to try to win it as we did for every weekend. It's going to be very interesting. It's the most different track of the season, the second longest, very cambered, a lot of bumps, very narrow, lots of corners, technically very difficult, but nevertheless, a lot of fun, and we're going to have a very good final there.
London's going to be special, you know, because both championships are still open from the team perspective and from the driver's perspective. So from my side, I need to finish ahead of Lucas, and that would be enough. But first thing, we need to know in which group we are in qualifying, what weather, how the weather is going to be like, because that may, you know, play a big role. And then we see after qualifying where we are, you know, because if you are together, then you have to fight hard. Otherwise, you know, you can take some margin. But clearly, you'll go to London thinking about the championship.
Formula E is growing up. The second season is more important than the first. Third season will be more important than the second. And I think the championship should follow this route towards the future, being able to at least fight for a championship on both seasons with different car concepts, different drivetrains. I'm already very proud of myself being able to have won 4 races in total and 13 podiums. It's a good feat, and I'm very honored and happy to be able to achieve such a performance in my career.
It would be amazing, you know. I lost it for 1 point last year, which was very difficult to accept. We don't know what's going to happen this year, but we want to win it, you know. We want to be there, and we want to fight for every single point until the last lap of the last race.
To race in the UK is brilliant for me, brilliant for Virgin, brilliant for all of Formula E. It was amazing last year.
It was a very special feeling to race in London. I live just down the road in Putney.
The track itself is very difficult. Lots of camber, only one line, very difficult to overtake.
It's the bumpiest track of the season, and it's a very technical and complicated track. So for the drivers, I think it's the most difficult.
Looking forward to London. It's going to be a lot of fun, as you said, 2 races.
It could just throw up another crazy race like it did last year.
The Formula E title decider in London promises to be an action-packed thriller. With it tight at the top of both championships, it's hard to pick a winner. So let's finish by asking the people who know best.
Oh, who's my money on going into London? That's a tough question. It's too close to call.
I think Lucas is looking very good.
Seb is still very quick. You know, Lucas is very consistent.
Lucas has made 0 mistakes since the beginning of the year.
If not something crazy happens, I think Lucas will take it home.
But you can never discard Buemi is on a very strong team, he's a very strong driver.
You know, like being Swiss, maybe you have to like root a little bit, you know, for Sebastian.
Seb's my teammate in Toyota as well, so it's hard. I can't say one or the other.
In terms of pure performance, Seb.
He's a very, very quick driver. Very good race, very good qualifying last year, so
It has been changing all the time.
Grassi, because Buemi crashed into me.
I don't think I can win this year, so I don't care.
Lucas has been amazing. I wish him the best, even if I still believe that the Renault Idams and Buemi normally they should be able to win it because I do believe they are a bit more competitive.
It's going to be very tight until the end of the championship, and that's what we want.